England take on New Zealand in the first semi-final of the 2021 T20 World Cup. It's an exciting game, and we are back here at Time Out with Sports Adda to talk all about that game.
You
Arun, the,
you managed to get that tongue twister right, Akhil. 2021 T20 World Cup. I was hoping you'd say 2021 2020 World Cup, but you managed to get it away.
managed to get that right. It seems like it's been the World Cup has been going on for a while, isn't it? Like you've also been working on the World Cup and you've been into working into it for such a while. It looks like it's been such a long one, but four great teams have managed to make it to the semi-finals. As I mean, India obviously are a big miss, but four good teams have made it. So in a way, it's nice for the sport.
Look, a World Cup's meant to be that way. Every World Cup there will be one team, one or two good teams which miss out. You can say that about South Africa. You can say that about India as well. India
Yeah.
showed up a little late and hence missed out. Same with South Africa. I think one defeat or one game where they didn't quite apply themselves cost them a semi-final berth. So that's how world event should be. That's how global event should be. And four good teams: England, Pakistan, Australia, and New Zealand. So yeah, looking forward to the two semi-finals and the final.
Okay, before we start talking about the game and like talk about the various matchups and stats that we have to look forward to, there is a very exciting contest that Time Out with Sports Adda is running for the semi-finals and finals, where people who watch the show and answer correctly have a chance to win some exclusive signed merchandise from Brett Lee. So we are going to be asking that question, Arun, during the show. We are going to be popping up that question and allowing people to answer that. All they have to do is listen to the question. It will be a very simple one, not the very tough stats that you normally throw in on Twitter. Simple question. All they have to do is go on, subscribe to the channel, and put in their answers in the YouTube comments below. So in between the show, sometime I'm going to stop and ask that question. So exciting times for people to win some Red Lee merchandise.
I hope the terms and conditions of the contest doesn't have Arun and Akhil cannot participate.
Yeah, we will not participate this time. We'll just ask the question and like look at the response. Though Brett Lee merchandise would be it would be cool to have that, right?
A signed cricket ball, a signed cricket bat, absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
honestly, a signed cricket ball from Brett Lee sits in a very good position in my collection of memorabilia. So you should, if you know the answer it on our YouTube comment section.
Okay, fantastic. Then on to the game. The last time these two teams met in a knockout game of a ICC tournament, Arun, it turned out to be a real humdinger. A tied match went into a super over. Again, a tied game was decided on the back of the bat of a England batter. So, been a very exciting, two good exciting teams who made it. First thoughts on England versus New Zealand.
You know, first thoughts, like you mentioned, this is a repeat of the 2019 50 over World Cup final. But even
Yeah.
before that, these two teams also met in the semi-final of the 2016 World Cup. So
Hmm.
it's amazing how often these two teams make the semi-finals, finals of global events, but haven't won so many titles. Now we've probably
Yeah.
got some stats, Akhil, which show the record in knockout matches of ICC tournaments, and that kind of tell you the story there. This covers all kinds of. This covers the 50 over World Cup. This covers Champions Trophy. This covers the T20 World Cup. So
Yeah.
look at those numbers, Akhil. You should just look at the bottom, the first line and the bottom line. They've been in
Hmm.
24 matches and 23 matches respectively. Have won less than half of them. So that's my initial thoughts. Again, it's New Zealand and England, but
Yeah.
couldn't be happier now because they are here on merit. They've played some fantastic cricket, and I couldn't be happier for them.
Also, the first thing that strikes me, Arun, and I mean, I'm talking of this as a pure cricket follower who's watched white ball cricket in the last 5, 6 years, is that England have shown that their format, the way that they play T20 cricket, white ball cricket, is working. They reached the finals last time the T20 World Cup happened, and they are in a position to reach the final once again. And I mean, if I'm running a team, I'm okay to not win a title all the time, but I'm competing in the final. I'm giving myself the chance to win that exclusive trophy.
Hmm.
So in a
Hmm.
way, England have shown that template has worked. They have a captain who is stuck to that template. So the first thing that strikes me with these two teams is that the template is working in white ball cricket, which is encouraging for other teams to follow.
Yes and no. Uh, I agree with what you just mentioned about England. They've kind of set a template, but it all came at the back of that disastrous 2015 World Cup campaign where they were knocked out
Yeah.
early. And credit to Morgan, credit to all the coaches and support staff who sat together and said, "Look, this is the way we want to play." You've got to recognize that bit. But hey, that's not the only way to play T20 cricket. While that's worked for England, that worked for West Indies a few years ago. Look at what New Zealand are doing. They're not flash, they're not slam bang cricket. They play very
Yeah.
sensible cricket, yet they're very successful. So it tells you that there's no one formula to play T20 cricket. You just have to adapt, I guess. You just have to understand what's the strength of your team and just do that bit better.
Hmm. Okay, so any interesting stats that we can look forward to in this game? Any matchups that we should talk about?
Before we get to the matchup, I just like to draw your attention to one set of numbers, Akhil. How have these two teams performed in the UAE? When I looked at those numbers, pre-tournament, I was disappointed with New Zealand's numbers in the UAE. Uh,
Hmm.
the thing that caught my eye is what have England done in the UAE? I mean, sensational numbers in the UAE, Akhil. Look at that, 13 matches,
Wow.
10 wins. I mean, you really don't. I mean, you didn't expect England would have so many wins in the UAE because the
Yeah.
conditions are so indifferent, so different to the kind of condition they play in. So this is the kind of eye opener. New Zealand's record looks better now. I mean, they won a few games now.
For the
They've won
four
three
months,
or
yeah.
four games here in the World Cup, and hence
Yeah.
these numbers look better. But before the World Cup, these numbers were dismal, made for a dismal reading.
Interesting that you've picked up on this one because England is a real surprise. I mean, traditionally they've been not players who have adapted to these conditions, which are
Correct.
not so great pitches. So it's a real eye opener to see this kind of stats, and this will be very encouraging for Ian Morgan also. In spite of having some losses due to injuries that he's had to miss a couple of players, these kind of stats are just bolstering for the team to go ahead in key matches. So
Hmm.
very nice stat that. Before we go ahead, Arun, and we look at more stats, I want to throw in the contest question here. Uh, okay, it's a simple one, and you're not allowed to answer here. You just have to retweet and get more people to answer that. The question that we have for the contest is that which England bowler has picked up the most wickets in this T20 World Cup? The 2021 T20 World Cup, which England bowler has picked up the most wickets? It's a very simple question. Yes, Arun. What do the people have to do to go and try and win this?
It's simple. We don't make it difficult at all. Watch the show. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe it, and answer your post your answer in the comment section. And one lucky winner will win signed Bretley merchandise.
Okay, that is simple enough. So that's the contest that we wanted to announce, and we'll go back now to our stats, our matchups. Arun, what is the next one that we have?
Yeah, we'll look at a few things here. First, I want to look at, we spoke about England kind of cracking the UAE. Why is that? We look at what's happened in this World Cup. We look at England's bowling performance, Akhil, in this World Cup. Uh, and you probably could get a clue to the quiz question there. We look at what's happened in the England's bowling. So England, coming into the tournament, all the talk was about Timel Mills, Chris Jordan, Chris Wokes, Mark
Hmm.
Wood, all of them. But look at what their spinners have achieved. Look at the second line in
Wow,
that. Akhil. England spinners, 19 wickets overall, and the economy is astonishing,
wow,
5.72. And
wow.
this is not just Adil Rashid. This is Moeen Ali and Liam Livingston, who's come up. I mean, who's really surprised us with his bowling, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And 5.72 is really staggering with the way that T20 cricket is being played, where there are matchups where players are being held back to go against off spinners, leg spinners, according to the way that they bat. This is a very impressive stat. And it just shows that there've been a lot of talk about finger spinners not being effective, uh, but Moeen Ali has shown that there is space. There is an opportunity. If you're a good spinner, you can control the innings and bowl the way that both all these three England spinners have done. So very impressive there.
In fact, just one brief comment, Akhil. It's not just Moeen Ali. In this tournament, in many ways, has been a resurgence of the off spinner, the traditional off spinner. We've seen Ashwin as well. The spell he
Finally,
bowled. The spell he bowled against Namibia. There was everything. There was flight. There was the carom ball, but it all worked. He bowled magnificently in that spell. And
yes,
Moeen
and
Ali as
finally.
always.
Great, and obviously, Arun, this use of spinners by the captain has also been useful. Ian Morgan doesn't get mentioned too often, but
Yeah,
the way that he's intelligently used these bowlers, he's used Jordan very well. He's used Chris Stokes whenever he needed a wicket, and obviously used Adil Rashids with the matchups whenever he needed. So intelligent use by the captain also here very very useful. Like how Dhoni maneuvers his bowlers when he plays
absolutely.
such. Exactly, that's how the role that Morgan has carried forward.
Absolutely, absolutely spot on. The captains are the ones who make or break players, make or break spinners in particular. And you got it absolutely right. Credit to Morgan for that. The other matchup I've got to quickly look at, Akhil, is how have England's batsmen fared? Where have they scored their runs? And they're up against the Kiwis, Akhil. The
Hmm.
Kiwis' pace bowling attack is something we've got to look at. So that's a matchup that I'm looking at. England's batting against pace and New Zealand's pace bowling itself. Look at those numbers there. England's
Hmm.
scoring rate against pace is near 10. 10 runs and over a kill. So if you've got
Nice.
if you've got about 12 overs of pace, that's 120 runs then and there. 12, 14 runs, 14 overs of pace, that's what they're going at. That's why they've been so successful. And look at what New Zealand pace bowlers have done in the competition: 22 wickets, but 6 runs and over, just over
Wow.
6 runs and over. This is the
Wow.
contest I'm looking forward to.
Very impressive. It'll be nice to see Trent Bolt and Saudi going against Josh Butler, isn't it?
Yeah,
Mouth-watering contest just to see how that matchup goes. New Zealand have picked up early wickets in the key matches that they needed to.
yeah,
Maybe not Bolt bowling his in-swingers and getting them, but still finding ways to get wickets. And Adam Milne has found form, Arun. You mentioned Adam Milne much before the T20 league, the Indian T20 league had happened, and you had pointed out to a stat where he picked up wickets in the 100 in England,
correct,
and
correct.
he's been an able replacement. He's given that back of length bowling option to New Zealand also to keep the pressure on when Saudi and Bolt are not bowling. So he's another addition to this pace bowling squad that New Zealand have put up.
Yes, I mean the only thing is he started off badly. Every game that he's played, his first over is gone for runs. He just needs to probably work on those. But otherwise, that pace will test England. But here's the other thing: Jimmy Neesham's been a revelation, Akhil.
Hmm.
Jimmy Neesham with the ball, with the bat. I mean, he's a funny man on Twitter, but
Yeah.
people kind of take advantage of that and mock him and say whatever they have a go at him. But he's come good in this tournament with the bat, with the ball, both of them.
Impressive. It's just funny to see how New Zealand, each one of them has been contributing in some way or the other, and we've not even spoken about the two spinners who've
Yeah,
quietly, I mean, Ish Sodhi obviously has won a man of the match, so he's been spoken about, but not much has been spoken about Mitchell Santner, who would have been a legend in so many other teams, bowling those overs very quickly, still has the ability to bat well, and we've not seen him bat in this tournament, so very, very impressive that New Zealand have each player is contributing.
yeah. Uh, Ishodi won the man of the match on his birthday, Akhil. Against India, if I remember correctly, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so he's had a fantastic tournament. And you mentioned Santa, Akhil. Santa's economy rate, he's only picked up 2 wickets, but economy rate of 6.5 is not too bad at all. Not too bad at all in this tournament when you're playing against the best. Quick look at the batting of both teams.
Yeah.
Couple of areas maybe to address there. Uh, England's batting lineup, rather most runs for England. There's Josh Butler, Jason Roy. That's a big blow to England. Jason Roy not
Yeah.
available. David Malan and Morgan. Now the concern is, Jason Roy not available, but also look at the strike rates of Malan and Morgan. We'll talk about that. For New Zealand, players in form, and I want to look at Kane Williamson's strike rate, Akhil. It's 98. I mean, I know he's done a
Hmm.
job, but perhaps come the big day, probably needs to accelerate a little more.
He's also been in that situation around where he's had to chase a lot of totals which are not very heavy totals. So
Yeah,
he's taken on the responsibility of just batting through one end, staying not out, and finishing the games off without
yeah.
having the pressure to tackle with strike rate. So that's why maybe the strike rate. So it will be also interesting to see how he plays Adil Rashid and Moeen Ali, because we all know he's such a fantastic player of spin bowling. So to help get more runs against the England spinners, he is again a crucial cog there whenever he gets into bat. So that is one contest that I'm really looking forward to, him going against the spinners. One big knock is due from him. It will be nice to see him get one match-winning 50 in a knockout game. In a T20 format, these kind of players doing well in T20 format is so rare. So it will be nice to see that.
Match winning, underline match winning. I want that. Match winning 30 will do. But yeah, big one due from Williamson, and hopefully it's in the semi final. Quick
Mm,
look at a playing 11, Akhil. There will
yeah.
be one forced change in England, obviously. Uh,
Yes.
Roy's out. So does it mean Sam Billings opens, or does
Billings.
Johnny Bairstow open and Sam Billings slots in at number 4? That's the one area I'm looking at. But
Mm.
otherwise, solid lineup this.
I would say Sam Billings is also a very good T20 player, so he can slot in on either position. Obviously, Bairstow has not got too much batting at the top
Yeah.
of the order since he's moved down, but it will be nice to see that Butler and Bairstow combination, two wicket keepers going at the top of the order. And we all know how destructive they can be, so that match can quickly be decided. So yeah, this is one change. I don't think any changes in the New Zealand lineup around. They are having a very well settled lineup, so don't see any huge changes happening there. They are quite a settled lot. This is a combination which is work. Glenn Phillips has got some important runs from them. Uh, so I don't see any changes in this lineup.
The only change, if any, I mean, I don't think New Zealand will be contemplating a change also. But if they want to bring in a surprise element, it would be Kyle Jamieson, only
Hmm.
because of his height. If the conditions, if the pitches offer anything, any pace or bounce, or if there's a
Yeah,
lot of green on it, then they might just think about Kyle Jamieson. But otherwise, at the expense of Adam Mill, that will be a little harsh. But otherwise,
yeah.
this lineup looks good.
Okay. So as usual, at how we do the calling before the game, Arun, I'm going to ask you to pick a favorite. But before that, I'm just going to reiterate we are going to be having a contest, a very interesting contest that is going to be running for the semi-finals and finals. So I'm just going to repeat that question once again. Which England bowler has picked up the most wickets in this T20 World Cup, the 2021 T20 World Cup? Which is the bowler which has picked up the most wickets for England? Please answer that in the comment section, and you'll get a chance to win some beautiful Brett Lee signed merchandise. So that's our question to everybody who watches the show. My question to Arun now is that pick a favorite, England or New Zealand?
Favorite is one. Go
New
Black
Zealand.
Caps. Absolutely. Go Black Caps. How cool will it be, Akhil? They won the Test Championship, and if they are able to go and win the 2020 World Cup as well, phenomenal achievement. The longest format and the shortest format. And remember, the middle format also, they made the final. They didn't lose it, but they made the final.
They made the finals on two successive 50 over World Cups also. So very consistent team. Just before we wrap up, Arun, will the toss be very crucial? Will it be win the toss and get a huge advantage?
I hope it is not in Abu Dhabi. I really hope it is not in Abu Dhabi. I mean, it's happened in Sharjah, and the weather and the dew has been really unpredictable, Akhil. Uh,
Hmm.
on days there's been heavy dew, on certain other days there's been no dew at all. So it's kind of been unpredictable, but I hope not. I'm just looking through the stats, Akhil. Since you mentioned toss, that's one thing I want to go in favor of Williamson. He's just won one toss in 5 matches in the World Cup. 1 out of 5. come the big day, I hope the coin falls in his favor. I hope he makes the right call.
Well, one of your favorite teams, Chennai, showed that they can still win the match even after like defending a total. So there's no way why Kane Williamson and his team can't do it. So clear favorites, New Zealand from Arun's side. I also am going with New Zealand today. I really like how they play cricket, and I like to watch them win. So I hope New Zealand win, but it will be a tough one. England are a champion side. They also need to win a title, and like Ian Morgan has to show one T20 title under his belt. So it's going to be a good contest. We'll be back here at Timeout with Sports Adda. Like we mentioned, there's a good contest running. So please send in your answers in the comment section, and we'll be back here to discuss the second semi-final with another contest there. So lots of opportunities for you to win some goodies also. Thank you so much for joining us.